Hey, it's Lucas, and today is the 7th of January 2024, the first week of dry January, and I am 1 week sober from alcohol. So pretty much every year I try and do dry January, and literally the first day of January, everybody says it's a write-off and that it doesn't count, and I think that is where I set myself up for failure. On the 1st of January, I always drink and I say that I'm not going to drink for the rest of the month, and I always lie to myself and I end up drinking. Last year in December, as you probably all know by now, I had surgery on the 28th. You're not supposed to drink for 3 days before and 3 days after, or 2 days before and 2 days. I think it's 2 days actually, because I had surgery on the 28th. I had a drink on Christmas, so I think it might be 3 days. I'm pretty sure it's 48 hours that they recommend that you don't drink before or after a surgery, but yeah, I tried to do the entire month, failed miserably, it was horrible, and yeah, I was back to square one. I managed 2 weeks, and then I fucked up, and then I just continued to fuck up and fuck up and fuck up. But for some reason, this year feels different. I don't know what it is. I've got some idea, but honestly, I think I'm just fed up of letting beer ruin my life. I'm being dramatic when I say that, but I do drink far too often, and probably too much. I don't drink to get drunk. I would probably have max 5 beers at a time, but it's just so frequent that I just really want to break this fucking stupid habit. I drink when I'm sad, I drink when I'm happy, and I drink when I'm bored. I had a conversation earlier where I said, I think I'm an alcoholic. I'm not sure, but I think I am. And the answer that I got to that was, I don't think that you're an alcoholic, I think you're just autistic. And that was said because I don't need to drink. I don't drink every single day, and I don't drink everything in sight. I'm very picky. I don't drink spirits. There's about 6 bottles of gin in the kitchen, a full bottle, well, two full bottles of vodka, and I'm not interested. There's a pre-mixed can of vodka soda, there's a Four Loko, and there's one of them extra strong 10% beers that's been there for about 2 years now, because I'm just not interested in drinking it at all. It's not even alcohol that I think that I'm addicted to. I think that I'm just addicted to beer, in honesty. I got this one behind me, this Adnams Ghost Ship 0.5% Pale Ale. And this bangs. I'm quite happy with this, you know. I'm quite happy to sit there and drink alcohol-free beers all day long, and it's fine. It doesn't affect me because I've got beer. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody who's not me, but I'm not addicted to alcohol, and I'm not an alcoholic. Now that I say it in my brain, I don't think that I am an alcoholic. I have a very set, rigid routine that I've been in for how old am I, 28? I've probably been in this routine for about 8 years. I know that sounds really silly. Maybe not 8 years. When I was a teenager, under 18 obviously, my mum would sometimes buy me 4 beers when I was 16 or 17, something like that. Probably even before that, maybe 15, maybe even 14. I'm not saying my mum was a bad person. Obviously she didn't let me get drunk, and it wasn't an everyday thing, but I started pretty young. It used to be a routine thing with my mum. It was kind of our thing on a Friday and a Saturday, and sometimes even on a Sunday, maybe midweek, not very often, but sometimes we would go to the shop. In fact, we'd go chippy, we'd get fish and chips, and then we'd go shop and she would probably get a bottle of wine, and I would get some beers. And we'd sit and we'd drink and, chat and shit, eat our fish and chips, and then I'd go upstairs and I'd drink my beers and play my games, and she would stay downstairs. And that was the routine thing that we had going on, and I've sort of just carried that on after she's died. It might sound weird, but obviously I work weekends, I work Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so I can't have my routine sort of sit down, play games and drink beers, so I do that, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday instead. But also it's hard as well because I work in a pub, and obviously I have to pay for my own drinks. I don't get free drinks, unfortunately, unless they're bought for me. But I work in a pub, so it's just too fucking easy to pour myself a pint and just drink it while I'm working. And I do that. I never have more than 3. whilst I'm on shift. I know 3 is even too many, but yeah, it's a weird one. Like, it's got to me more at work than it does at home, because at home I would usually just get alcohol freezing anyway, because I've been thinking about this for a long time, over a year. I realised that it was hard back in December last year when I first tried to do it. I can't believe that I made it to 2 weeks actually. I've got a video on here somewhere talking about that, which I didn't watch before I made this because I suppose it is relevant, but it's not relevant at the same time. I made it to 2 weeks. I was 2 weeks absolutely bone sober, no weed, no alcohol. And that's the first time since I was a very young child that I have been completely bone sober for 2 whole weeks. So yeah, every year I try and I fail. But for some reason this year, it feels different to me. It feels like, not to sound cheesy or corny or anything, but there's been a weight off my chest, literally. And I feel like that was the main thing that used to drag me down. Like, I would try my hardest to be so positive and everything, and then I would just, you know, look at my body and be like, what's the point in trying when you're stuck with these things on your chest that you're never ever going to get rid of? What's the point in trying to better yourself, trying to be healthy and trying to do good things, you know, when these things are never going away? At least I didn't think they were ever going to go away. Now they're gone, and I've had a full year of just doing whatever the fuck I want and being free without a chest. I mean, I've still got a chest, but it's a normal chest now. It's not, I don't have like fucking tits hanging off of it. So that this year, the first 3 months were recovery and trying not to do too much, trying not to stretch my scars or anything like that. And then the rest of the year, around summertime, I got into a really good routine. I was still drinking and stuff, but not really heavily. I was going to the gym all the time. I don't know what happened, but that just kind of fell by the wayside into October, November, December, and then now. But I do plan on picking that up on Wednesday. Today is Sunday. Now I feel like the only person that's going to stop me from doing this is me. And I was talking to my boss earlier, just like we were swapping over shifts, and I was just chatting to her. And every week in my pub we have a different guest beer, so it's like a hand pull. It's usually a pale ale, and I've discovered that I'm quite partial to them, so I try them every single week. Some I like, some I don't, but I tend to drink those when I'm at work. If they run out, then I'll go on to lager. But yeah, I said to my boss today, she's got, I think it's called, I can't remember what it's called, it begins with an R, but it's a pale ale, and it looks like something that I would like, just from the pump clip. Basically, you know, when you go into the pub and you look at everything on the bar, if you've seen a hand pull, it's probably got a clip attached to the front telling you what beer it is. So I was looking at the pump clip and I was thinking, I bet that's really nice. That looks like something that I would enjoy. And I said to her today, it's taking everything in my power not to have a taste of that beer, because usually what I would do is, you know, like when you go into a pub and you say, can I have a taste of that? You give them just like about this much in a glass so you taste it. That's what I would do. And then if I like it, I'd have a pint of it. And if I didn't like it, I wouldn't. But I said to her, I was like, it's taking everything in my power not to try that guest beer right now, but I'm not going to do it. And she turned around to me and she went, I bet you will. And I went, I'm not gonna. And she went, I bet you will. I bet you will taste it. And that is the thing. Honestly, I need somebody to tell me that I'm not going to do it, because I need a healthy mix of support and also skepticism, because her going, I bet you will try it, you know, I bet you will, you're going to cave. It made me feel a little bit shitty, but it also like got my back up a little bit, and I was like, I'm not going to fucking try it. I'm not. And she's like, yeah, you are. I bet you are going to try it. So, for that reason, I'm not going to fucking try it. That, and also the fact that I'm determined to stick this out. This week, the first 3 days were really easy. I don't know why they were so easy, but they were just so easy. Every day from December 1st up until December 24th, I had at least 2 beers. most of the time more. If I was at work, then you guaranteed I probably had at least 5 beers that day. I would, 3 on shift, my Beer 52 video, and then later on stream, I would open the Brewdog calendar. So that right there is 5. And that was happening like 4 days a week. And then on my days off, I would have the 2 beers from my advent calendar. And then probably more likely than not, I would go buy 4 more from the shop because I've already been drinking, so I may as well carry on. That was my thoughts, and that is still my thoughts, and I know that's not the right way to be, but my brain's like, well, if you have 1, you're not going to stop, and you know, I'm looking into my own eyes in the camera right now, you know that you wouldn't fucking stop if you had even just a tiny little taste of the guest ale to see if it was nice or not, so that you could recommend it to people or not. You're not going to fucking stop. You're going to have 3, 4, 5 pints, and that's going to be dry January down the shitter. But it's like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think I'm an alcoholic, because it's not just alcohol. Like, I'm not rattling for it. I don't need it. Do I want a beer? Yeah, I do. I really want a beer, but I know that I don't need it. Like, that's enough for me. If it was one of my days off and, I'd been to the gym in the morning, after the gym, I would probably go into Sainsbury's and buy some alcohol frees, come home, take my dog out, and then, for the rest of the afternoon, chill, have a beer, make a video, that sort of thing. And that's fine. I wouldn't miss the alcohol at all. But then you're guaranteed when I go into work, we sell a couple of alcohol frees. We've got Heineken Zero, Guinness Zero, and like 3 different flavours of Copperberg. Oh, we've also got Erdinger now, which I tried for the first time the other day, and it's decent. And that's fine, and it does the job. I've been drinking Heineken Zeros today at work. You pour 2 of them into a pint pot, and it's just like drinking a pint. It felt... Honestly, it took away some of the I want a beer sort ofness from my brain when I poured those 2 bottles of Heineken into a pint Heineken glass and then like took a drink of that. My brain went, beer, this is beer, and that's fine. That was all right for me. But I still, the entire time I was behind that bar, every time that I had to pull a pint of the guest ale or a pint of Coors, or we've got this Black Sheep IPA on that nobody seems to like, but I think it's all right. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. And that's the thing that I want right now is an IPA, and I don't even like IPAs, but I think it's just the strong flavor that I need. I don't need the alcohol. I just need the flavor of the beer to tie me over. That sounds so weird, and this is why in my brain I'm going, alcoholic, you're an alcoholic, but I'm not. I really don't think I am after having that conversation this morning. I'm just so rigid in my routine that breaking it sets off my anxiety and it gets me thinking. And the thing that I would do when my anxiety flares up and I'm, I don't even know the word, just kind of stressing a little bit, my go-to things are smoke a bowl, drink a beer, play a game, chill the fuck out. Whereas now, before having alcohol-free beers didn't bother me one bit, and that's the thing that just keeps, it's like a nagging, niggly feeling sort of in the middle of my chest, but it's also in the back of my head, and it's like, you want a beer, you need a beer. I don't need a beer. Like I said, I'm not rattling or anything like that. If I was I'm not the type of person who rolls out of bed in the morning and has to take a swig out of the supermarket brand vodka. I can't fucking stand vodka. I haven't drank a spirit, I don't think. I had a gin and lemonade at my sister's house on the 30th of December, and that was the only spirit that I think that I drank over Christmas or like December or for fucking ages. I'm not bothered by it. Cider, I'm not really arsed about. I like cider, like fruity cider, to have 1 or 2 in the summer, but it's not something that I'm bothered about. the thing that it has to be beer. It can't be anything else, or else it just does not hit the spot. I need my games, and I need my beer, and I need to watch a couple of YouTube videos, and that is my thing, and that is my routine. And breaking that routine is the hardest thing out of all of this, because I can still do that with my alcohol-free beers and it still feels the same, because that's what I would usually do. It's just in my brain, now that I've told myself for the next 3 weeks, well, for upcoming 3 weeks and for the past week, I've told myself that I'm not having a beer, which is stupid because I am having a beer. This is a beer, it's just not got any alcohol in it. But yeah, I've been rambling for 20 minutes and I think I've said more than enough. I'm doing dry January to try and break a habit, but as I've been sitting here and talking about it, I don't actually know if that habit is beer or whether it's just become part of the routine. So like I said, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't need alcohol. In fact, I can go a few days out of the week without drinking. It doesn't bother me, you know, but it's always there in the back of my mind, and that's what I want to get rid of. So I've got another 3 weeks to go, and I don't think it's going to be easy. It keeps getting harder for some reason. I don't know why it keeps getting harder. I've got like this sober tracker app on my phone, and I made a couple of posts on there. I made one yesterday, and then I made one this morning saying, why were the first 3 days so easy? You know, everybody says that it starts to get easier around day 4, day 5, but for me, that's the complete opposite. Day 1, 2, and 3 were fine, and then day 4 and 5 were difficult. Day 6 was, you know, yesterday. That was fine, I guess. But like today, I don't know, like I just want beer. I just want a beer, and I've got a beer, so my brain should be okay. Like I said, when I poured those 2 Heineken Blues into a pint Heineken pot and I took a massive gulp of it, my brain just went, yeah, this is beer, let's happy chemicals this. So that might be the move, you know, pouring the alcohol freeze into a glass instead of drinking it out of the bottle, and trying to trick my brain into thinking that I've poured it into the glass just to enjoy for, I don't know, a review or something. Sometimes even when I know I don't want a beer, my brain's saying to me, you want a beer. Like, this happens quite frequently. I'll be sat there and I'll be thinking that I'm not going to drink today, and then my brain will go, you want beer, just go get beer. And my willpower is not very good, so I'll go get beer, I'll crack open the first one, and I'll be sat there drinking it and playing a game thinking, this was not worth it. Like, I've just wasted 6-7 quid on these beers and I don't want them, but you bet your ass I'm going to sit and drink them until they're gone. So yeah, I'm trying to break that habit, and I'll be smoking a shit more ton of weed. Like, that wasn't a proper sentence, was it? Shit more ton of weed. I've been smoking more weed. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strains on deck at the minute. That's the most I've ever had in one go, 6 strains. Not like loads of all of them, but I've got enough weed to carry me over. It's just, it's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult. But I'm determined. I'm really determined to just 3 more weeks, you know, 3 more weeks, and I'll see where my brain is at. I want to be the one who's in control. I want to be the one in the front of my mind saying, today I think I'm gonna have a beer or 2 or 5, you know, and then when the cravings come up and my brain's like, you're gonna have fucking 5, 10 beers. I never drink like that, you know, that's the thing. When I do drink, it's never excessive amounts. It's just, like I said, my maximum to being still okay, but you know, like happy drunk is 5 pints. So if I go out and I have 5 pints, I might even have 6. I know that I need to stop after that, and I can stop after that. I will, because I hate hangovers, obviously. Who likes hangovers? I don't get hangovers because I don't drink that much, that's the thing. So I always stop myself before it gets to that point. And I don't drink to get drunk, so yeah, those two things, it's just it's just beer. I don't know why it's beer, but it is beer, and it's always been beer. It's just beer. And it's not just any beer as well. Like I've got standards. I like what I like, but I will also take the cheaper stuff. And by that I mean, like, obviously I've got my second channel where I do drinks reviews, and they're not all on craft beers. Some of them, like sometimes I review cheap stuff just for the laugh, like Aldi ciders and Aldi beers and stuff like that, just to try them. But the majority of the time, it's the beers that I get out of the Beer 52 subscription box that I review, just because I like it. I like to try different styles, and I like to try different beers, and I enjoy it. Like, I think if I was a proper alcoholic, then it'd probably be fucking pint cans of Stella to the face, crate after crate after crate, and that's just not me. I don't even like Stella. You know, I don't particularly, I don't like Carlin, I don't drink that. I'll drink Budweiser, but it's not good. You know, my go-to lager is Coors, probably, just standardly. So, I know what I like, and I know what I don't like, and I'm not going to drink something that I don't like. So, you know, if the shop's only got, say, shop's only got Stella, I'll drink Stella because it's there, but I'm not enjoying it, I'm just drinking it because it's there. And that's something that I want to get out of, because even while I'm drinking them, I'm like, I don't want these. So I'm just rambling now, so I'm going to end it here. But I think the moral of the story, you know, the message of the video is, I don't give a shit what you do what you want. I don't care if you're not doing Dry January, don't do it. If you don't drink at all, that's cool. If you do drink and you love it, carry on. But for me, I don't want to be ruled by beer anymore. And I know that sounds silly, because like I said, don't drink to get drunk, don't drink every day, don't drink everything in sight. I'm just addicted to beer. I paid a lot of money to have the chest that I have now, and booze is not gonna help me get it to be the best that it could be, and I know that. I know that if I didn't drink, if I, you know, stopped, just quit alcohol completely, the weight would probably fall off me. I've got a beer belly and a dad bod because I behave like a dad and I like to drink pints. And that's all there is to it, really. So if I want to make any kind of change, I need to start here, because here is my main problem, beer. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. So yeah, that's it for this video. More of a therapy session between me and myself than an actual video, but if you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, then don't leave a like. I don't give a shit. This is for me more than it is for anybody else. Putting this here so that I can be held accountable. I really, really am determined to stick this out. I don't want to do this anymore, so yeah. This is it, I guess. So yeah, leave a like if you liked it, leave a comment if you want to, show some support or show some hate, either way. Subscribe for more videos. They're not all like this. In fact, most of them are not like this. I think I'm gonna do these weekly throughout January. Obviously it's Dry January. I keep going to say Sober October, but that's not what I mean. Dry January. So I'll probably make a video next Sunday on the 2-week mark, and then I'll make a 3-week one and a 4-week one, and then I'm gonna go get shit-faced. No, I'm not, I'm joking. I don't get shit-faced. Like I said, I get drunk, like I get intoxicated, but I never ever get to the point where I'm shit-faced. Like I still know what I'm doing. I also don't like feeling drunk. I don't like waking up the next day kind of not knowing. It's not that I don't know what I did, it's just like, it's a little bit not like fuzzy or hazy or anything, because I can still remember what I did, but it's not super clear. So even though I didn't do anything wrong, I was just in my house, like watching a series and eating dinner. It's not what I want. I don't like feeling that sort of hazy, out of it sort of state. But yes, this is definitely the end of the video because this just keeps going, and now I've been sat here for half an hour. So yeah, that's it. Keep updated if you want to hit the notification bell, all that good shit. Let me know if you're doing dry January. Subscribe for more videos. Peace.